Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of The Shredding Skeptic. Today we're going to be taking a look at Mad Max in our triple stream 9K format, so top off your gas tank and canteen because we are going to go venturing the wasteland. Alright, welcome once again to everyone in the gaming community from both the single screen and multi-screen community alike. Today I wanted to start off by addressing one of the weirdest glitches I have seen in computer gaming history. This is a glitch that basically disables the Harpoon for those of us who choose to play the game in an ultra-wide format. For those of you joining us from the console gaming community, I understand you guys have your own issues in terms of the red ring of death, or maybe the console's laser burning a huge scratch in your disc, but in the PC community, the issues we face tend to be of the software variety, and when they crop up, they tend to be a huge pain in the ass. In some of the troubleshooting threads, they mentioned that just returning to a regular resolution will actually fix the issue, and in fact it does. If you just switch back to a windowed 1080p, the Harpoon will work just fine, but again, for those of you playing in a multi-screen format, you understand that's probably not the most acceptable solution. So, what you gotta do is as soon as you get the Harpoon, just keep playing the game until you're able to get the Nitro Boost upgrade, and then what you do is as soon as you got your target locked on aiming-wise, basically just hit the boost, and for whatever reason, that will allow the Harpoon to lock on. I have no idea why this works or what it is about that boost mode that causes the Harpoon to become functional for widescreen users, but I also understand that this isn't limited to the Eyefinity AMD community, it's also the NVIDIA guys over on their surround view. I'm not sure what it is about these new AAA games that seem to leave us all hanging when it comes to triple screen support, and this is the very reason that I returned Metal Gear 5 after about 15 minutes of fiddling and realizing that there was no way I'm going to get these three monitors to work without some kind of hack. And frankly, when you're paying $60, $70, upwards of $80 for some of these games, I really just don't think that is an acceptable solution either. Some of you triple screen users may also find on your left screen a bizarre sort of corruption of the, left half of that left screen, and what you gotta do to get rid of that is simply disable anti-aliasing, and that will simply get rid of the issues. So with those two issues fixed, the game is pretty much as functional as it would be otherwise if it was released properly. So this game I figured I might as well just sink my teeth into and show you guys what it looks like from this perspective. I've been holding off on watching the Mad Max movies because I didn't really want that to influence my perception of this game, but I am going to check them out before I do another video to see how the two do compare, because I think it will give me a better insight into the kind of world the developers were trying to create here, because again, it's simply a recreation of something that was done in a movie before. Now, this wasteland format is something that is very familiar to me, as are many elements of this game. I never got around to playing any of those Batman games with any real depth. I did check them out for a little while, and the combat mechanic was amazing, and I found that this game gives you that very same experience and really offers you the ability to kick the shit out of the opponents you are going to face in the wasteland. Although there are some great RPG elements to this game, including character and base development, some of the quests you have to do largely feel kind of like fetch quests, but in a way the developers have created this sense of doing these really annoying little things to prevent you from having to do more little annoying things down the road. For example, if you are able to acquire the necessary components to build your own little oil rig, you won't necessarily have to go scrounging through the wasteland in the event you run out of fuel, because every time you go back to the base they'll fill your tank. The same thing will go for your health bar, your canteen, your ammo, and all of these other little things. So rather than having to go around and find this stuff, every time you go back to the base, once it's fully upgraded, you'll have everything full and ready to go. So you can just hop right back out into the wasteland with everything fully stocked, so you're not going to fall short right in the middle of a bad situation. As you upgrade your vehicle, you'll be able to take on much stronger opponents for a much longer amount of time before having to retreat and repair. Fortunately, your companion Chum Bucket is more than willing to just hop out on the hood and repair the car once it is stationary. Now, this character that they've teamed you up with is a really great sidekick, and he does kind of feel a little bit like Igor from Frankenstein, if you guys know that story. But the way this guy talks and some of the little catchphrases are so endearing that I'm really looking forward to seeing how they grow this character throughout the game. So say what you will about the elements of this game that are familiar or taken from other games, whatever you want to call it, but the character development is something I'm really looking forward to because I do find myself buying into the stories of these guys, and I want to see what ends up happening to them. I was a little bit concerned about burning myself out with this game for the upcoming release of Just Cause 3 and Fallout 4, which I am definitely going to be jumping into the day they get released. There's obvious parallels that you could draw between those games, such as the wasteland environment from Fallout, and this really open world go around and kick everyone's ass kind of mentality from Just Cause 3. But again, those are very unique series, and they definitely hold a special place in my heart, and I don't really think there's going to be a lot that can threaten those games. And this one, I feel, is unique enough to be able to carve out a niche of its own. So thanks for taking the time to watch this episode with this brief introduction to Mad Max. If there are any specific gameplay elements you guys would like to see more of, definitely leave a comment below. And again, thank you very much for taking the time to tune into this episode of The Shredding Skeptic. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments as to whether or not Mad Max is too much of a generic copy of games that we already know and love. Or is this the beginning of a new franchise that you guys would love to see some sequels to? Let me know in the comments, because remember, these are our games, and this is our story.